Hi, everyone. Welcome to Digital Experience. This is the PM Group iteration release video. We'll go over what we worked on for the last 2-week period. Today is Thursday, July 27th. I guess I'll go first because I'm already talking. This iteration, I worked on some localization efforts. So there was a solutions/continuous software compliance page that's been merged into the feature branch and getting merged as or released as one big piece for all the solutions pages. I translated the features page, except that the huge long features YAML file that lives in www was not part of the translation. So that's being translated now and is going to be released hopefully next sprint, because that's a huge page, huge piece of content. I removed one of the forms from the 2022 DevSecOps survey report landing page because we have the 2023 one up. I worked on DevSecOps World Tour executive event pages. These are very similar to the existing DevSecOps World Tour pages, except they have a different registration form. Now we're undergoing new content for those pages, so I'm still working on those. And then I did a solution/GitOps page refresh. I can share my screen. This might change a little bit. So this is just a review app, but this is applying our solutions template, the industry template, with a new little next step section there. And I think that's it for me. Yeah. Okay, I'll pass it on to Matteo.
Thanks, Laura. That's a lot of work you did. Let me share my screen. So 95% of my iteration was the blog repo. So I'll start with the other things. I did a small update to the ESG page to add a link to the new DIB page. Updated the Chicago page to close the form as the event is now over. And also the VSA page got merged. And then for the blog, I worked a lot here in Contentful to create the content models. Also migrated a bunch of blog posts to populate the page. I created the components for the page. So this is the landing page using the new Contentful. Also have Swift type here migrated over. It works here. So this is using the content from here. So now we can do some cool things because now we have an API with querying, not just the YAML files. So for example, here I have the feature blog post and this. The blog posts have a flag where they can be featured over here. So if I take, for example, the current feature post I have is the DIB post. So if I find that post and take away the featured flag and publish, it will fall back on its own to the previous feature post without having to specifically do that. There's also querying for, I wrote the logic for the querying over here, which is by category. So I created a content model, which is blog post category. And here we have a query that brings 3 posts per category. There's only one here because I didn't migrate that many to populate all of it. But for example, this one has 3. Also fixed along the way some small problems that the current page has. For example, here you have to click the actual text. If you click, for example, here, it's not a link. So it is now fully clickable. In the code, I did some things that will make it easier for to start working on this when other engineers start working. So I have like query examples with the comments to show how queries are done, and also created interfaces because the objects that Contentful sends in the responses are very nested, so it's hard to memorize all the paths. So with the interfaces, we will have the autocomplete do that for us. So yeah, that's what I have been up to. I think I didn't miss anything I needed to mention. Yeah, I will pass it over to Miguel.
Thank you, Mateo. For this iteration, I worked mainly in an email template that we wanted to have in Iterable, which is another platform for sending emails. So this is the email template we have for digital experience. That was a lot of QA. And I also translated 2 pages, like the code suggestions page to French, German, and Japanese. And the same thing for the GitLab Duo page. I also worked on one customer page migration. And also I was working a lot with trying to figure out the incorrect bug we had for the URLs. In the end, we had a fix done in Cloudflare to do redirects from the /index pages to the normal pages. And I also did a small fix for the forms, which had a hard-coded error message. So right now we have a fallback error message. And yep, that was me. Next is Alvis.
Sorry, I was trying to order my board. Okay. Let me show you. Yes. Let me hide this. Okay. Okay. This print is I created a fix for overflowing background within a contained section. There was a previous solution for that, but the solution sometimes created overflowing in some pages. So this new solution, let me, where is it? Sorry. Yes. Oh. Yes, this is the solution. It seems similar to the previous solution, but the new one, it's safety to use because there's no risk of overflowing. This solution will be created as a special class for so any section that will need an overflowing full background for the full viewport, but it's contained inside another container. Yes, just adding this class, it will have this overflowing full viewport background without the overflowing issue. So yeah, another thing is sorry. Yes, another fix is homogeneous another background, but these were complex and the just fixing some spacing because attached to the image, it's attached to the viewport, but in the biggest screens, some viewport related units weren't as responsive as we intended. So there were a lot of calculations, use of variables and that stuff. So this new implementation will work great and just fine between a small desktop, big desktop, and mobile also. There was also updates from the World Tour events like Melbourne. I add some speaker video and info. And also I create a migration snippet in Python. So I migrate 6 customers easily. Not fully automatic, but also. So yes, they're in review, waiting for some content additions. That's it. That script could be adapted and modified to enter stuff like topics and all the stuff that it's in the old repo, then maybe could be implemented for translate to contentful. That's it.
I can go next. Let me share my screen. So the first thing is this individual blog post template, just kind of updating to match what we have on the main page with our slipper styles and all that good stuff. So coming soon. And then also there's this event, the Google Cloud Next 23, which will be in San Francisco. So we built a landing page for that based on our previous KubeCon page. We are just kind of waiting for final content, but it's pretty much good to go in terms of UX design. Something else that came up was the DIB report, which an agency worked on. Then I kind of just took it over the edge or to the finish line with making sure it was all sliperified. And that is already live. Shout out to Margaret for working on the engineering last minute there. I think it looks pretty nice. Got final approval for analytics and insight solutions page. That was one we were just kind of waiting on content for as well. And then Laura already showed the GitOps page, so I won't go through that, but lots of good stuff this sprint. And I think I'm the last one.